ये लड़के मार्केट में मिले?
शादी
WC किधर है? मुझे देख नहीं रहा। DAY-1 अभी भी 9 मिनट है।
it could definitely end up costing them the championship. And of course, all our teams today need to lock in and prepare for what's to come, because it's going to be a bit of a grueling day for them all. But I mean, you know, that's the news that we love to bring you. We want to bring you the action and the love, but we want to crush some keys most of all.
Yeah, I want to see which keys are going to be getting crushed. But in case you missed it, we do have special reporter Kalaris giving you the STC Rewind.
But the thing is that Rondo, the first map, is like ridiculous. We saw a team get 39 points of world record. Wow. And that team didn't even qualify in that group stage, which makes no sense. That's wild.
We are very sorry to all our viewers at home. One of our casters got a little bit too comfy. Now, production, let's please throw it to Kalaris with the STC Rewind.
I want a massage.
From Pmwc, day one here at EWC 26 for the finals, and we have got ourselves an absolute treat. Here for the STC Rewind, we're going to look back at everything that's gone on so far, Max. Groups to start things off. Group A and B, the leaders looked fantastic coming through into the final.
Yeah, I mean, of course, looking at Group A in particular, it was the Pakistani domination with 4 Thrives getting so many points, and really the one word to describe their performance is consistency. Every single player putting points on the board, in particular, Valak, right, being the group MVP, was looking incredible, but so were Group B with Vitality.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, you're doing beautiful.
It looks fantastic, and yeah, Vitality on the opposite side of things, though, record-breaking results to say the least. Day number 1, 108 points for them, meant that they didn't really even have to matter what was going on in day number 2 for their groups, but they came out kind of swinging as well, finishing off at 148 points. I think just an insane result from them.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible, especially looking at Federalis with the insane peaks he was doing there, just almost breaking the game at times. Incredible performance from them, and also the duo Ray Ray. But looking now at the teams who were in second place of their groups, right, the Indian teams of Orangutan and also Godlike. One big question I do have today, Kalaris, is that they do not have the Smash ruling in their home region. So if they do get into a point where they can contend for that #1 spot in day 3, how are they going to be reacting to that Smash ruling?
It's a good question, and for a long time, an infinite amount of time, in fact, they've never really truly been in a lobby quite this powerful. The chips are all down here at Pmwc, so we'll see how they're going to be able to work that out. However, I think that some of their consistent play style, really locking down areas and then eventually being able to adapt as time goes on, hopefully they've had enough time to be able to even tweak some of those kind of results and kind of tweak some of those tactics to be able to push themselves all the way up to the top. Let's talk about the survival stage, though, because we had a wild survival stage. What do you think of the results?
I mean, Tiamo already winning that one. I was a little bit upset by their performance in the group stage, but you know what? They brought it back in that survival stage, and QZZ doing QZZ things, putting up big numbers. But Milu, I wanted to see a player perform on the same level as QZZ on the international stage. Milu, a 1v4 versus RRQ, putting them down in that elimination stage, and able to actually become the MVP of survival stage. I'm very impressed. But I feel like one of the biggest storylines were in the last few games, Kalaris, the teams were able to barely make it back up, and that has to bring up the conversation about Ulf.
Yeah, it really does. That last game, getting them over the finish line, and you could see the emotion and kind of the relief on their faces when they were able to get that victory. This is a team, Ulf, of course, that arguably coming in, a lot of pundits, a lot of experts had them in their top 5, if not trying to challenge for the championship as a whole. So for them to squeak in towards the end of the survival stage, it feels like some vindication has been done here for Ulf, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Every single player doing great. I mean, Aaron and Ketch doing great. But you know what? The player that I would say was the MVP of Ulf was Scarface. Yeah. Oh my goodness. He came out of nowhere and said, you know what, guys, I got this one. I'll do it myself, and qualify us into the grand final. So Ulf, right now, I would say I got that glimmer of hope, just like we had at PMGC last year, or even PMGO Season 1 this year in Jakarta, that they can be on the podium and maybe break that second place curse.
And that's just a few of the world-class teams that are going to be representing here in the final for Pmwc at EWC 26. You want to stay tuned. You want to see all of these teams fight for that grand prize pool.
Thank you, special reporter Kalaris, coming in with the information. Now, let's talk about the club championship. AGAL got eliminated.
They did.
They are no longer in.
Lace, don't forget that we still have Vitality, and we still have Aurora, that if they finish in the top 8, or if they end up winning, I mean, they'll get a cool 1,000 points for that CC.
Never interrupt me again, Seven. But that's fine. Glitter, with our CC update, is going to interrupt and on standby to bring us the club championship update.
As we head into finals for PUBG Mobile, and as we prepare for the penultimate championship weekend here at EWC, as is tradition, it's time for another club championship update, because this is what all of our clubs are fighting for. The title, the honor, the ability to etch their names in the history books of EWC. So let's talk about what that means for this weekend. Over on the Allianz Vault, we have the likes of Liquid, Falcons, AGAL, all fighting for points in their respective games, and honestly, they're going into semifinals today, whittling it down to top 4. It's going to be a big one. Then at the STC Arena, a little bit of a repeat here because we also have Falcons in the running, and we're also keeping our eyes on Vitality, which could be a big one, as Vitality is in 4th overall in our CC leaderboard. But as we take a look towards our stage at PUBG Mobile, we get Vitality yet again. They are one of our big teams expected to do well, but the real question is, will the likes of Four Thrives, Orangutan, or even Tiamba take those points away from them? Will Vitality be able to usurp Falcons or AGAL? This is the perfect week and opportunity for them to do so. We're going to have a lot of updates coming your way over the next couple days, and as we know more, of course, we'll make sure to let you know.
And get to our special reporting, being able to cut class and just do that CC update. Thank you, Glitter. But we gotta talk about Sony's story of the day here, because this is the finals, and there's some teams, Lace, that have just been outperforming like crazy. Vitality being one of those.
Of course, Vitality, they were able to get the exact same score that Four Thrives did over 2 days. So if you don't understand how much of a juggernaut team this is, well, then you better wait and lock in.
Yeah, another one that we saw there as well is Godlike. I personally have Godlike finishing in the top 5. This team, for a first international event from India, they have been performing so well. And is that Snacks Gaming that I see? Bye. Turn left. Can I say hello? Bye. It's good. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to him later on. But we do have some more special reporters, none other than Maxman and Aventura. Let's see what they're up to.
And here we have it. We are here at the Analyst Corner for some good old PMWC 2026 at EWC 2026 breakdown. And I'm going to be joined by some co-analysts here to break down everything that might be happening this following weekend. First of all, we got Michael, Niptura, Jackson right here at the stage. How are we doing, Niptura?
Very well indeed. I'm not going to do what you wanted me to do. I'll save that for later. I'll save that for later. But for now, yeah, we're looking very good. Excited for the finals. We all dressed up for the occasion. We are ready to go.
Yeah, with that said, looking at the teams, I know that Niptura, you really want to jump in on Godlike, because this team came out of nowhere in Group B and made it straight into the finals.
I mean, out of nowhere is a pretty good description of it. We were not expecting too much, simply because of the lack of experience compared to the other groups, right? The other players, the other teams, but they performed very, very well. I mean, we had them coming in 2nd in the groups overall, only by 1 point ahead of Aurora, you know, a few points behind Four Thrives, who had a big group stage, and the back-to-back wins on Miramar and Rondo over the span of both days was just really, really nice. I really enjoyed how they've been playing. They play more compact, they look for those positions, and in a lobby like this is working out very well. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they got today.
I feel like a lot of people, especially when it comes to Godlike, are highlighting, you know, they're looking at S-Power, they're looking at Admino. I want to say Some in particular has been doing absolutely fantastic for the entirety of Godlike. So you can see a little bit of a B shot there, them getting ready for this event. But you know what? Godlike is one of the many teams that are going to be here trying to compete for that trophy this weekend. But you know what? I feel like we need an extra analyst possibly to join the desk right here. But we have to summon him.
Oh, yes.
Niptro, so you ready? 3, 2, 1. Vitality. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, wait. Time 2, okay? Wait, we're going to do it one more time.
Yeah.
Vitality!
Vitality!
Hey! So Vitality, what are we thinking, Blank?
Hi there, my name's Blank, special reporter coming in for Vitality so far, doing incredibly well. Razy and Razak, my boy Ray, as well as Federales and Axel, looking fantastic at the moment. I think Axel's been in a huge amount of work, as has Federales, opening up a completely new style of shotgun play, which looks completely ridiculous in Game 2. But that's my special report for Vitality.
Oh, thanks for the insight. Also, Axel, by the way, the IGL, but doing some big numbers, especially on that one game against Hora on the beaches west of George Pole. So this team, with how impressive they were in the opening day of their respective group, which was Group B, right, Niptra and Blank, Can we see something similar going into this one, Blank, Mr. Vitality?
Ooh, Mr. Vitality. Yeah, I do think they're bigger. I mean, Vitality's going to do very well here. The spiritual successors, of course, but I do think they're going to do very, very well. I think that there's not a player on that team that doesn't look incredibly good at the moment. And the funny thing for me right now, Neptura, is that Razy and Razak aren't particularly the guys that are stepping up the heat, despite so much talk about them. Axel and Federales have come in looking very hot, and I think that's the most promising thing.
Absolutely. I think if you look at any of the stronger teams in globally, just the global circuit, you're going to see players that all have very, very aggressive gunplay skill despite their various roles, right? You don't have just one or two. It's very, very nice to see that come through for them. So, yeah, it's very, very strong looking. And also the fact that they can get so many wins, we were talking about that in the group stage, right? We get so many of those wins, it makes it interesting for that Smash rule that we actually could have a lot of hope for this team to actually come through the pressure and get that win.
Yeah, it's very nice, unlike Fourth Rise, they can actually get wins, because if they do gain contention for the Smash ruling and the trophy, actually that could put them in a really good contention to be crowned your PMWC 2026 champions. Now, we already talked about one of the Indian teams. I think it's time to focus on the other Indian team, which is going to be Orangutan. Neptura, you already talked about them, so Blank, Orangutan, what are we thinking today?
You know what? I think Orangutan, for them, I think right now they're looking very, very good. I think a lot of the emphasis, though, has to be on Aru, though. I got to talk to him a fair few times at this event. Lovely guy, by the way. Really, really lovely guy. Great chatter. I mean, I talk a lot. I talk a lot, you see. And I think that's sometimes a problem for other people. But for Aru, goodness me, I could just sit there and listen to him all day. But he's bringing a lot of the eliminations. He's also bringing a lot of the guidance to the squad.
Yes.
Now, there were a couple of moments. I think we're actually seeing on screen now one of those moments, which was a little bit difficult right now for Orangutan. They moved up on this one versus Flash. They struggled a little bit on the gunfight. However, they ended up winning that game. It looked a little bit shaky. I think that they solved a lot of the issues coming after that. But yeah, I do think the rest of the team needs to develop around Aru, essentially.
Yeah, I think Aru's got some great ideas and he's got some great direction. It's just that synergy that has to come through. I think probably there's a little bit of, I don't want to say the word panic, that's a very strong word, but when you are in these high pressure situations, it's your first PMWC, whatever, you are going to go, oh my God, they're everywhere. And you're going to have a little bit of a freak out, and they've really worked on that. They've solved so much of that. And so, yeah, it is looking really, really nice for them. So very, very hopeful for this squad to actually do big things here.
Yeah, very hopeful. We'll see how high they can actually rank up in the finals. But with that said, a final team I'd like to talk about here, which is actually the team I predicted to be the champion. So I'm sorry, guys, but I'm going to go for Team Flash. Team Flash, I think, is a team that has been getting better and better and better every time we see them play. And I feel like now they're at level, Blank, where maybe a trophy is in the cards for these guys.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Wait.
Predicted by Max. Womp womp.
Sorry. So they're going to be in 16th place.
Yeah, probably. To be fair, though, for Flash, I think that they did quite well, all things considered, because last time we saw them this year, they looked fairly unconvincing. They looked scared. They looked like they didn't have it in them from what was basically a rookie upstart squad who were testing a lot of other squads, right? Poking at them, nipping at their heels. They suddenly play this really passive game. I think some of that aggression's coming back now, and that's good news going in towards the finals.
Yep. Go for it.
No, I do. I agree. I want to see more from them, though. I think in the group stage, you know, they've been heralded as a very, very aggressive, forward-playing team, and I think in the group stages we didn't see that as much as I was expecting to. I would like to see more of that in the finals, but you know what? It could be just a simple thing of, like a lot of teams do, they saving it for the finals, and so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to hold that against them. I want to see what they got here today.
They do kind of remind me of Fourth Rise in the sense that every player has that clutch factor, and it's especially interesting. They go from PMGC last year to qualifying because of an airdrop on Miramar, barely able to squeak their way into the finals. So now, actually being a team that consistently are able to qualify straight into the finals of these big international events. So Flash, I feel like, could be a big surprise, especially as they picked up the mantle of Deep Xavier earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
Could be.
Could be happening.
Also, last thing, chicken.
Whoa, chicken right there. There you go. Check him out. He's very cool. Check out the booth right here at EWC 2026. With that said, thanks so much for joining the Analyst Corner here for PMWC 2026. We'll throw it right back to Lace and 7WG.
Yes, thank you so much to our special reporters, Max and Neptura. I don't know where we got the budget to fit Blank in there. I thought we spent it on him saying Vitality 100 times. However, our players are now arriving and getting ready for the show. 7, I do believe we are missing one caster.
We are. Oh, not again. Not again. He ended up missing last year on the final day of PMGC. We cannot have that happen again. Let's send out our special reporter, Calares, who's going to be looking for none other than John Allen.
Our senior reporter for PUBG Mobile here at PMWC, and a major problem has occurred. It seems we've let one of our commentators out in the wild here, and we've got to actually wrangle him and get him back in. So it looks like maybe a little bit of movement's going on here, actually. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to capture him. This is the problem with commentators. A lot of the times, they just go wild. They somehow get it. He's on the move. He's on the move. Okay, no, we've actually got to be able to try and find him as quickly as possible here. He seems to be hiding. I'm not exactly sure if we're going to be able to capture him. This specimen, in fact, actually has a microphone already. You can see he's dangerous. He's very dangerous. He has a microphone already. That means he's actually ripe for the commentator desk already. They might be able to actually capture him here. They've caught him cornered a little bit. I don't think he's very interested in it, but he might take to it. Let's see if we can place down some bait or something like that. Some bait actually might be able to work. Usually chicken dinners are the prime meal of a commentator here for PUBG Mobile. Will they be able to make it happen? This is a tense moment.
John Allen?
It looks... I think they might actually have it. They might have it. They might have the John Allen. It looks like... Oh! Did you see that? Get a close-up of that. Get a close-up of that. I think they've got him. I think they've got him. Unbelievable scenes here at PMWC. Oh, that was close.
As an Australian, I would have caught him a lot faster.
I'm just glad we caught him, okay? This man was on a loose. We weren't able to find him yesterday during the day off, and I'm just glad we're able to set some bait to actually find him.
Absolutely, he needs to lock in just as much as our players, 7.
They really do, because there is an alert right now going on, and that is that the players are ready. We are ready to rock and roll here at PMWC at EWC 26. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the finals, baby. I'm ready.
Months of preparation, thousands of hours played, and sacrifices have led to this point. Life-changing money sits on the horizon, and a legacy that dreams are made of.
We saw it in the group stage, we saw it in the survival stage. These teams are here for a reason, and every single one of them can actually clutch it all and become our PMWC champion.
Today marks the beginning of a 3-day gauntlet that each of our teams have to navigate. Each day more intense than the last.
Buddy, I think we don't have to wait. The players look really ready, and it is time for us to welcome our finalists on the Gidia City grid, starting with Xorato!
Oof! Esports! Nongshim Red Force!
Al-Hula Club Esports!
Tianba!
S2G Esports!
Nigma Galaxy! Team Flash.
Godlike Esports.
Aurora Gaming.
Esports.
Orangutan.
Team Vitality.
And finally, 4 Thrives Esports. We can't emphasize enough the importance of the next 3 days. On Sunday, we will crown the greatest team in the world. So start as you mean to go on.
Absolutely no room for mistake. If you want to be the best team in the world, you need to prove it from the very first day. The Pmwc Finals at AWC 2026 starts right now!
Players from all corners of the world laser focused on one thing, the title of PMWC champion. Fight smarter, adapt faster, and deliver when the pressure is at its peak. That is what it takes to keep this dream alive.
So welcome to the Pmwc at AWC 2026.
And RRQ are looking to do it here. Pushing up close and personal. Mew with the nade! Turning the tables! And he's doing this all by himself! What? It's the Slog Wipe 1v4 from Milu!
Let's put the 11th on the board. Looking for TZ, is it a self-denial? It might be. Get to double digits on the
And that's it!
burn yourself down to the ground. What a shutdown. 108 points in 6 matches. Nate misses, Darkin peaks. That's on target.
Headshot.
Good shot. Follow-up there. HG takes him away as Turney K falls. Mormon closes the gap in the shotgun standoff, but will he win it? No!
Are you kidding me? What a finish! It's Ida! S-Power is just insane. He's been throwing heat-seeking missiles all game long and opening the fight for his team. A full 4v4. S2G tried to catch a couple of their players off guard, but it's S-Power, baby. You can't shut him down that easy.
You can't stop S-Power, and you cannot silence Godlike in this moment. Adamino for the closing play as Godlike take this chicken dinner with ease!
That is how you do it here, folks. And you can see the look on their faces saying, make some noise, Paris. It's Godlike's time to shine.
You see on Rondo, it is madness in the Ox Factory. Nice. A big nade threaded on up, and it's finding 1 and 2. Falak charges on forwards, and they're cutting the rosters in half. Another one right up in his face. They go wide. Top's moving around the side. Aurora, a difficult beast to handle. The run coming through from India, but it's not happening. They will not be silenced. They will not be shut up here. Aru's still going strong. A tanky underneath, looking to get the shots in. But Flash moves around the side. He's whipping the shots, unfortunately. But finally, they will hit the last shot. India grabs the back-to-back. From day 1 to day 2, this team looks clean.
It's time to crush some dreams of 10 teams. Can I get you to press this button and open up the iris? Oh, with a bit of vigor. I like it. I'd like you to pull on this in 3, 2, 1. Send them home. Let's go, there we go.
I don't think we could have set the stage better ourselves. So it's ironic that we were featured in that nice little collection of replays there, Blank. An incredible way to give you a glimpse into what's gone on over the past couple days. But it's going to get even more climactic here. The best of the best return to the lobby, and this is where dreams truly do become reality.
I'm slouching, but hopefully the players aren't, because this is a day, right? Day one always gives you the most freedom, the most chance to get a big buffer online without that stress, because we saw that come through in survival stage.
Yeah,
teams were sweating, teams were shaking in their boots, but it's time to get boots on the ground over on Rondo very, very soon for our first match of the day. Who's going to grab that gargantuan point total? Can someone try and repeat something similar to E-Arena? Maybe not the same, because that's once in a lifetime type of a deal.
Well, if there was a time to pull it out, try and elevate a world record even further, hey man, there's no better stage for it, no better crowd, no more excitement and anticipation than right here, right now, live from the Qiddiya City grid at Pmwc, at EWC 2026. 3 years of intense competition, twice we've had brand new champions crowned, and this year we'll get another one.
Never going to be the same year at this rate, with Yangon being Yangon. It is time to crown a new victor. Who's going to be the defending champion? Will they be able to defend it next time? But right now, all that matters is getting those points online. Playing path is in the air for day one of finals. Match one, Rondo. Let's get it started.
Energy in the arena already. It's good to hear you, Paris. Let's keep that energy going throughout the day. We'll set the stage for you as we get our playing path on board for this one. We've had some pretty good games of Rondo, mate. You touched on E-Arena there. That was something to be remembered. But the consistency and the level of aggression we've seen from these teams back in their respective groups was intense. Now we put that all together. A big hodgepodge of talent. They're going to be stepping over each other, Blanks.
I mean, they will. They will have to, because there's going to be bodies on the ground shortly, as soon as these players start dropping in. E-Arena here, though, and teams do need to be worried. They've been taking this little odd stadium drop where they've been searching out players from different teams on their res beacon positions. Now, if you are remembering our game versus Alpha 7 just the other day, on Survival Stage Day 2, they had a real tough time of it. They were able to hold out, but E-Arena made their lives extremely difficult, but it wasn't just them. Let's see what E-Arena can get done, because a lot of teams are going to be taking those res beacons off towards the northwest side with this playing path as the fights do open up towards Yulin.
Just how hot are these drops going to be, and how much aggression is going to come out instantly. We see that opening knock from the side of 4 Thrives as Razy on Vitality starts to let some bullets fly. 2 players on Orangutan instantly being knocked off their feet as well. That's 3 points achieved for Tiamba in a matter of seconds here, Blank.
QZZ already hitting the knocks left, right, and center. Milu up to 4. QZZ. To 6 eliminations in 1 minute 47. That is an incredible result already for Tiamba, and they should be able to get the easy res beacon. They've already cleared out most of the damn teams in that position.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable start for Tiamba. A powerhouse in the survival stage, and again delivering early into Rondo. Orangutan being forced out, as well as Hora look to try and claim a few more points for themselves. 3 points for Hora, 3 in the back pocket for Nonshin Red Force, and that big 6 total for Tiamba already.
Oh my days, I mean, just coming through, Milu was just slashing at them. He pretty much cut through the entirety of 4 Thrives there, left them in ribbons by the end of it. I'm pretty sure he was up against guns as well, but he just brought the knife close quarters outside the pagoda. Real samurai here on Rondo.
Start as you mean to proceed, it seems then, for Tiamba on today's games. Sleepy taking the clash back over to Zizzy there from Nonshin. Going to be able to force him out early.
Nice.
Oh, that's a great lineup, bud. Lord coming swiftly in with that one onto S2G.
Gorgeous stuff here But for S2G, got to chat with them for a little bit. My boy was actually getting a haircut when I was talking to him, but they were saying that they have the aggression, and that's what they're bringing here in the finals. It's what Ulf kind of lacked a little bit of. But for their Turkish team, they were looking to bring that aggression over in the group stages. They're looking to bring it again here. They've had a lot of time to study those teams, but Lost moves up and already is down. It's Kamikaze, the man with it all to give. One nade, one dream.
Ooh.
Good damn.
Yeah, it's nice bit of chip damage on the peak. Oh, wow. Lord trying to lean into it, but the pre-fire back from Kamikaze on low HP will at least secure that one. Ralph goes in aggro, though, with the shotty and absolutely pumps them full of buckshot.
Good stuff there. Solkay, at least at distance, is able to recall the team back into action. We do have a Western circle. We didn't get to talk about too much. Flash already has tops in that region, so Jiao Ting currently covered, but that place can hold a lot of teams late game. Eren now coming against Win, bears them out HP, but at distance, it's Milu once again. Tiamba up to 8 probably after this.
This is the dream start for Tiamba. And Milu, the fact that he's got 6 individual eliminations alone, mate, he was just popping off back in the games we'd seen previously. If he feeds the hot hand and can keep this going throughout the whole day, good luck.
It's the buffer that we were talking about. And there's no luck involved, but there is luck involved over on the Lucky Spin, which you can join in with us in-game right now for the 2026 PMWC, for the exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament set, which you can see on screen regularly in-game. Make sure to try your chances just like QZZ and this spray down with the S12K. We are looking at 2 eliminations per minute.
Unreal reactions as well. Coming out swinging today. We know mechanically they're very gifted as individuals, but they're putting it all on the line. And hey man, that's the way to do it, right? We were touching on the fact if you can have a huge pop-off game on Rondo, the extra buffer of points from the sheer quantity of additional eliminations you can garner from this battleground, it's worth its weight in gold, especially in a 3-day finals environment like this. You gotta get in there and get stuck into the thick of it, and Tiamba are doing just that.
Again for Tiamba, their biggest success in the survival stage